Okay, we'll get to the bike now.
Right.
Did it look good? Because in the pictures, it's been a bit underwhelming, and I have certain parts of it which didn't work for me.
So the surprise part of this is that in the parking lot at Jaisalmer, at the hotel where we were, there were the base models, which had the rear pillion pads removed, and they had an aluminium. It's one of the original accessories of Royal Enfield that was placed there. They looked a lot sleeker than they do in the pictures.
Okay.
So it looks like a thinner motorcycle rather than a fat stubby one, and it looks actually quite interesting. The top models is what we got to ride, and that had the touring screen and the touring seat and the pillion pad.
Right.
When you add all of that to that motorcycle, it looks larger, which is good as a cruiser, but it also looks stubbier. So what they've done is they've got a proportionate design that actually changes dramatically as you add and subtract accessories and parts from the motorcycle. It's quite interesting. Can I call it classically good looking? It's almost there. In some of the paint colors, it was nice. Yeah, because for example, there is a very ornate Royal Enfield chrome logo on the tank. But the Super Meteor text on the side panel looks like some sticker guy did it in some shops locally somewhere, right? And I remember that you commented on it when you saw the pictures for the first time saying, what's this logo?
I just don't get it.
But finish levels are good. The build quality, I think Royal Enfield now has a handle on how to do these things, right? So I'm not surprised. It looks good. The frame rails are much fatter than normal because the frame is all new. So when you look at it, you do get the sense of the small things like the aluminium finish on the triple tree. There are things like that all over the motorcycle that tells you that design has played a part and it does look upmarket because of it, which I think for a cruiser is pretty critical.
Right.
So they have done that. So even if you were not to buy a single accessory from the Royal Enfield catalog, you're getting a machine that definitely looks expensive. Is it good looking? I think in many ways and from some angles it is. What I would wish for is the top model did not have the touring screen as standard at all.
Okay. I have a...
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I thought that why wasn't there more chrome on it? Like if you notice the front of the bike, when you look at it.
It's black forks and a chrome bezel and that weird U-shaped thing.
The motorcycle.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a bit...
So you know the strange thing is if you think about it, they built the cruiser, but there's more chrome on Mr. Clean.
That's true. And it's beautiful.
And the chrome on Mr. Clean is impeccable, right?
I love it. Yeah.
So maybe, you know how the Royal Enfield story is always playing out, where we saw the classic and we said, and then they said, no, there's more coming, and that a line evolves. So maybe there is a more chromed version coming later, which will be even more expensive. And look, they said prices were 3.5 to 3.8 lakhs or something. Imagine if there was a Mr. Clean version at 4.5 lakh rupees.
Right.
Immediately the conversation would have gone to, oh my God, so expensive for a Royal Enfield. So maybe it is just a strategic thing where the chrome will come later. But did I think that it lacked chrome? First glance, no, because the paint jobs are nice, retro, the color selections are pretty decent and all of that. So there is enough chrome, I think. The catalog has more chrome if you really want it. But cruisers also moved away from chrome. Remember the street rod and all that were all black.
Yeah. But that's exactly it. For me, they've gone for such a traditional part of the cruiser segment. If you think about it,
would maybe welcome there.
Yeah, like you've gone what would be quintessentially the cruiser, right? It's not the fat boy of the cruisers. It's not the Diavel of the cruisers. It's not the...
It's like the generic template that you have in your head.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
It's like, okay, you told me that from 10 years ago, this was a Harley Davidson 650cc cruiser or whatever, mid-displacement cruiser. You'd say, yeah, that's absolutely on point, right? And in that regard, to me, it was like, and it's the Indian audience as well, right? Like this is your poster moment coming to life at a price point which is extremely acceptable.
Yes,
right?
True.
Like that little bit for me was like, man, that would have blown people's socks off.
So again, I would say that if I were Royal Enfield and I do not give you that much chrome to start off with, and I'm willing to sell you the chrome parts as accessories, I think there is a line of business there.
Yeah.
So you buy a motorcycle you can afford, and then you keep adding chrome as money accrues to you. You know how we said when we were talking about bike modifying? Well, I don't modify it like the whole and soul in one night. You've spent a lot of money and you get 2 versions of your motorcycle.
Right.
You change parts along the way. You get multiple versions of that. And I think that expense doesn't hurt so much because you're not spending so much money at a time. So if I were Royal Enfield, and I'm not saying this from a sign of this is a disingenuous way to increase business. I'm saying it's a very real and productive way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, you wanted chrome exhaust, they're already there.
Because there may be other people who'll say, hey, I don't want the chrome.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you don't have the chrome. You have the option right now. You want a fully chrome tank. Maybe it arrives on the market later, and let's say pick a number. Let's say it's $25,000. 3 years down the line, you had the cruiser, you're enjoying it, and you want to change the look, and you arrive and say, I want the chrome tank, and you put the chrome tank, you get a new look out of it. I don't think it's such a bad deal.
Okay. Now, so by and large, the design is the template, so to speak.
And it looks good.
And it looks good. And in person, it does better than it does in pictures.
Yeah, it definitely photographs worse than it is. Like, I saw the pictures and I was like, I didn't think it was that stubby.
Did you have a favorite color scheme?
The flat color schemes, like you saw the black one that they released the picture of the base model. I think that looks smashing.
Okay.
But again, I'm not the traditional, I want lots of chrome kind of cruiser guy. I would generally...
With the black, the rest of it would flow actually.
Yeah. So I would generally gravitate towards a darker color scheme on a cruiser anyway. If I had my own, I'd probably have like flat bars on it and it'll sort of slope down till the end, you know, like a drag style kind of thing.
Right.
And probably have mid-mount controls rather than feet-forward controls. I can manage feet-forward, but I don't think it works when I want to corner the motorcycle. I'd rather have my feet under my knees or further behind. So that's the kind of cruiser that I would gravitate toward. Okay. So in any case, I would gravitate and pick a darker color scheme over a... So did I not like the red and white one that I rode? No, it was nice. Is it something I would buy, honestly?
No.
But it's a color preference. It's not a big deal.
You know why we did that conversation? It's just to occupy your time for nothing else. And you can say thank you by hitting like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to really thank us, do it on the main MotorInc channel, which this clip is from. Thanks.